My spidey sunset sense is going off right now. I hope. I was just cooking dinner and I looked outside and saw all these crazy clouds, and from the west, like that much of a gap. That is good sunset conditions. So I've got lots of cameras on me, including this one. But wanted to take you guys out because I wanted to get out, going stir crazy. This is just like my house, just like right over there, down on the other side of that hill. So just a quick run up the hill. Wanted to get out, bring you guys with me, show you some New Mexico beauty. And I thought I would talk about something that I've been thinking about lately, and something that I haven't seen much press on. And that is the EOS RP, the RP, and its two most underrated and least talked about features. And those two features happen to be the two main reasons why I bought this camera. Woo, it's getting windy. All right, let me get set up, switch cameras so I can get the RP set up, and we'll continue. Here it comes. It's in that gap now. I think I'm gonna do something that I don't do hardly ever. I'm gonna use my square filter. All right. All right, it's going. I never use the filter, the square filter. Well, I don't use them that much anyways, but the only time I use them is for time lapses. But it's a little iffy right now because it's so windy. It might actually add more like a sailboat effect, so we'll see how well this goes. Warp stabilizer is your friend for time lapses. Also, this tripod in this wind, with just the RP, it's okay, but anything else, I wouldn't do it. Especially having the column raised up. All right, it's so windy. I have to turn the camera a little bit, so hopefully now the wind is coming towards me, so it won't be hitting the mic so hard. This mic does a surprisingly good job. Anyways, what was I saying? Two most underrated features of the RP. Technically, it's one feature in two different ways. And that would be the time-lapse feature. So I bought this camera specifically for time-lapsing, and that was after I messed around with the R for a long time, and I really love the R because it's really similar to this guy, my 5D4. However, the difference is the R has no time-lapse feature. It has the interval, it has the movie time-lapse mode, but that's it. And I think it's only in 1080p. It might be in 4K, but still, it's only the movie mode. It doesn't have the full intervalometer, which this has. The 5D4 has the full intervalometer. But where the RP shines is it's a full frame, it's $1,000 or less, and it has the full, both the 4K time-lapse movie mode, and it has the full intervalometer. So if I'm doing a vlog or something, I can do, and I just want something quick, some B-roll for the vlog, then I can do a nice 4K time-lapse in the movie mode and see it instantly and just plop it right into Premiere and go. But I also run a full-time photography business, and I do a lot of stock video, and I do a lot of time-lapses for big companies and stuff like that. So having the ability to have a full-frame sensor that has the intervalometer built in really makes my life a lot easier. And it allows me to get the most out of the camera because I can use LR time-lapse and really push my time lapses hard in the editing, something that you can't do in After Effects or Premiere or anything else. LR time lapse is the only way to really push and really fix and really get the most out of your time lapses. And to have such a tiny little camera that can do all of that and be my vlogging camera and be my backup to my 5D and my 1D, what I'm filming with here, and to still be full frame and so light and all of that stuff, it's a big deal. And I think just a lot of people either don't know about it or just dismiss it because it's just not talked about, it's not used or whatever. But maybe also there's not that many time-lapse photographers out there. But if you are a time-lapse photographer or you're interested in time-lapse photography and you want to get a mirrorless, I would highly recommend the RP, taking a look at the RP right now as of mid-2020. Hopefully when the R5 and the R6 come out, they will both have the full intervalometer. That's what I'm waiting for. I will pre-order them the second they come out. However, this is what we have now, is the RP. And yeah, you can get intervalometer plugins and Bluetooth stuff, and I have a bunch of that stuff, but nothing works as well as just having it in the camera. I tell you what though, I don't want to like put my foot in my mouth too soon, but I can almost guarantee you that this sunset is going to be ridiculous because these clouds are dark as crap and there is nothing, but they are almost to the sun. That is like a perfect combination for them to catch. They're moving really fast though, and the sun still has, we still have like 20 minutes till sunset, till it hits those mountains, and by then these clouds could be gone. I think I'm going to set the 5D4 up for another time lapse. All right, I just realized that I don't have another wide angle. I have a 45 mil. I left my 14 mil at home and I just grabbed whatever was on my cameras. So I might actually use my phone, the S20 Ultra, and do a time lapse that way because that light is going to be awesome very soon. So maybe I'll get that set up real quick. And then I'll just use my 5D to pick off some nice close-up shots. I love shooting the 1-400. It's my favorite lens of all time. I use it for a lot of time lapses too, but in this case, I just love picking off the details of these mountains, and when the light hits them nice, it should be nice, should be good. So you can never have enough cameras apparently, or you can have too many cameras and then freak out and everything can go wrong. My God, it is getting windy out here. I say getting, it's been this windy for like the last 3 days. We've had like 25 to 35 mile an hour sustained winds with gusts from 40 to 60 for the last 2 days, 3 days. That's New Mexico in the springtime. This isn't too much better than the 45 because I don't have my moment case yet, so I can't use my wide angle. So I'm stuck with 26 mil, but 26 mil I guess is better than 45. All right, that's going. I'm out of tripods now. I got 1, 2, 3 tripods. I got 1 camera left. It's gonna be my trusty long range camera. Wow, the wind died down for a second. I feel like I should talk really fast for whatever I was gonna say for the rest of the video. Hopefully it'll stay died down. I think I'm gonna let this one do kind of a day to night lapse. I've got it running on aperture priority mode at f11. So I'm gonna let the shutter do whatever it wants and drag out as the sun goes down. That way it'll do a day to night lapse and keep the exposure constant. That's gonna create a lot of flickering though, so that's why I'm gonna use LR time lapse, and that's why I love being able to do this kind of stuff, holy grail type stuff, the sunset, sunrise type stuff with the intervalometer and not the 4K movie mode, because in that it turns it into a movie mode right away and then you can't really edit, you can't fix the flicker. So I had a lot of plans actually for the RP. I've only had it for like a month or so, maybe 6 weeks or so, but since the whole shutdown and not being able to travel, like I had a lot of plans for places I was gonna have time-lapsed in that month and a half already, and now I'm just stuck here. And I don't want to complain though, because stuck here is better than where 99.9% of the people are stuck. I'm very fortunate, I'm very lucky to live in such a beautiful place and to be able to walk right up this hill and have this view every day with nobody around and be able to time-lapse and shoot So another thing that I love to do with my time lapses, and I've talked about this a lot, you guys, if you follow my channel, that you know how much I love to take long exposures. I love to take time lapses and blend them into long exposures. And I do that with, that's another thing you can't do with the movie modes. So having the intervalometer in there and then also having the raw files is a huge deal to being able to make images like this. This is, again, from this time lapse, and then I just took a bunch of those images from the time lapse and blended them together to get the long exposure look. And that's just something you can't do without intervalometer and raw files and all that goodness. And the RP has it. And I think the RP got a really bad rap when it first came out because Canon didn't include the 24p. And I don't know why they did that, but they did update it and it is there. And they also updated the autofocus and the IAF and all that stuff. And that stuff is amazing for vlogging and all of that. For video, the IAF is absolutely phenomenal. I loved it in the R and I love it in the RP, and I'm sure I'm gonna love it in the R5 and the R6 when I get them. But having the RP have all that stuff, I think it's definitely time for people to start taking another look at it, especially given the size, the price point, the bang for the buck. It's just incredible. All right, sun's going down. We're at the last like 90 seconds of sunset. I really hope that I didn't just jinx myself, but I think it's gonna happen. Yeah, I think it's coming. All right, I know I talked a lot. I'm gonna wrap it up here so that I can finish enjoying this, make sure I actually get the goods, do some more stills. There is a Chihuahuan raven circling right over here, and then a couple of turkey vultures. They look really cool in the light. I'm gonna see if I can pick them off. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the two features of the RP, and those are two of the increasingly many reasons why I think you should definitely take a look at it if you're interested in getting into time-lapse photography, full frame photography, videography, starting a YouTube channel, anything like that. This thing, travel photography, that'll hopefully travel will resume at some point. This camera, the RP, is just great for all of that. I'm probably gonna do some more reviews on it after I've used it a little bit more and go over some more of the stuff on how I think it does for, you know, landscapes, portraits, you know, that kind of stuff. I already did one review about it on how it does with wildlife, and if you're interested in wildlife and this camera and you like that kind of stuff, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. It definitely surprised me. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you guys have any questions about what I talked about with the time-lapse stuff, or if you wanna see more time-lapse stuff, leave those in the comments below and I will definitely answer them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got new videos every week. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, it's getting good. Well, insert foot into mouth officially needs to happen because it was a dud. It didn't happen. We got that one tiny little bit of color. Oh man. Well, I still think the time lapses probably will have come out okay. At least there's cool clouds.